Hey guys, welcome to the Bourbon Basement. I'm Steve, and today we got a special episode here, and we're going to call it "Where's Pappy?" So you guys have heard me talk about our tastings that we have here at the Bourbon Basement. So about every 3 months, I gather my family up, all of us, my bourbon crew, and we have some good bottles. We crack them open. We do blind tastings on everything. Everybody picks their best, and we have a good time with it. It's always a fun time. I've got one coming up in June. Uh, yeah, next this month. It's actually this month. Anyway, this was going to be that next tasting, and the reason we call it "Where's Pappy" is because the Van Winkle 12 Lot B is in here. Everybody knows how expensive those bottles are in the secondary market. Uh, as far as getting them MSRP, if you're lucky, maybe you grab one MSRP. Me, I wasn't so lucky. I got it somewhere in between secondary and MSRP. Still thought it was a pretty decent deal. We've tried the bottle, as you can see. That was a family thing that we got together. We tried this bottle and shared it and enjoyed it. And then I said, well, I'm going to use it in a tasting. And what my goal is today, and it's perfectly blind, is to try these $40 to $60 bottles to see which one's my favorite. Now, I've only had the Lot B Pappy Van Winkle or the Van Winkle 12 year once. So I don't know the flavor of that. All these other bottles were fresh cracks, okay? I've had them before, but they're fresh cracks. So today's going to be interesting to see if my taste goes to the Pappy Van, or I'm sorry, I keep calling it Pappy. We all know what it is. But the Van Winkle 12, see if my taste goes there, and if that bottle's actually worth the price that you got to pay to get it. Because if I can get a $60 bottle that I enjoy just as much, why go there, right? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the bottles. Now we all know that Pappy, or I'm sorry, we all know that Van Winkle 12 is a weeded bourbon. Okay, uh, so we'll start with this. So this is the Van Winkle 12 year Lot B. It is 90.4 proof. So what I wanted to do in this tasting was $40 to $60 bottles. I wanted to keep them very similar, so I wanted a wheated mash bill, and I wanted around the same proof. So we'll just start right over here. This is the Bardstown Origin Series. This is Kentucky Straight Wheated Bourbon Whiskey. This one is 106 proof, actually the highest proof in the whole bunch. The others are a little bit better. This is Castle and Key Small Batch. It's wheated. It's 100 proof. This is the Green River Kentucky Straight Wheated Bourbon. It is 90 proof. And this is the Old Emer Wheated Finest Wheat, and it is 92 proof. So they're all really close in proofage. So I'm hoping that proofage doesn't throw me off a little. But if you got 100 proof and a 92 proof, and you like the 100 better, does it make sense to pay $550 for a bottle of bourbon? I don't know. So what we did, and it was kind of fun. I know our producer has fun doing it. She come down to the bourbon basement and she poured me a shot of all these in here randomly. So I don't know what is what. I'm just going to slide these over here. And what we're going to do is just a little tasting today. I got some palate cleansers. I got some crackers here, some water. I got some coffee beans for my nose. I don't know what particular order these were poured in. I've got one, two, three, four, and five. As I take them up, then I'll judge the color, appearance, aroma, flavor, and finish of each one of them. So my producer is telling me to take two and move them to the other side. Uh, this this is not a live show; it is a video, but I don't know that I will edit anything out of it. So you are going to see all the mistakes and everything else that happens with it. But anyway, so I'll be judging the appearance, the aroma, the flavor, and the finish. So there's five in each one, so a possible score of 20 stars on each one of these. We'll do a little talk about them. like I said, I don't know which one it is, but as I pick up number one and I'm doing my smells and everything, you'll see my producer flash a little card so you'll know exactly what bourbon I'm talking about. Uh, but I won't know because I can't see it. She has them over there behind her, and it's kind of interesting. When I get more techie, maybe that'll just come up on the screen. I don't know, but so far it's going to be a little hand with a little card. So I hope you all enjoy that part of it. But at least you all will know which bourbon that I'm talking about, even though I won't. And then at the end, I'll give you my favorite bourbon, uh, and I hope it's Pappy because I want to justify paying that much money for it, or the Van Winkle 12. Some people get upset if you call Van Winkle a Pappy because they think a Pappy starts at 15 years and goes up from there. These are the Pappy family, the Van Winkle 12 and the Old Rip 10. Uh, we all know them. We all are fascinated by them. We all want them. Some of us have many. I have about half a bottle of one left now, so we're gonna go from there. But guys, my bourbon crew, if you're out there and you catch up on this video, don't be upset about not getting this tasting. This was planned for you, I know, but I changed my mind, and you know from the last tasting, I do that quite often. I changed my mind. We're going to go a different route, but it's still going to be a good route. I think you'll still enjoy it. All right, so let's get started with this tasting. If you all don't know and or haven't watched, or if this is your first episode, what we like to do is take a small drink, move it around our palate. That's our first acclimation, right? We do that actually twice. We put it in our mouth, we move it around, try to coat our palate real good, get all that burn and sting out of there. We don't start judging any flavors until that third sip. I will do that on every one of these. Hopefully, I won't take too long. Then, in between each bourbon, I'll have water and crackers and a little bit of coffee on my nose to kind of cleanse my nose palate and my mouth before I go in for our next one. So, here we go. We're going to start with number one. There goes my producer with her little hand and the little card. I hope everybody sees it. You all know what I'm getting ready to talk about here. All right, so in this one here, I get a little bit of brown sugar. Uh, Now, I'm going to just assume since all these are wheated bourbons, I'm probably going to get a lot of that pastry dough kind of thing. And this one, I am getting a little glazed donut, but it's not too oaty and it's not very overwhelming either. It's very easy to breathe. There's not a lot of alcohol going up your nose there. It's a pleasant smell, but it's not real complicated. Maybe a little bit of sweet oak in there. Other than that, that's about the three I'm pulling, and I'm not going to spend all day on them. So, uh, appearance wise, you all may not be able to tell, but it's got a nice amber note. It's about what I think of when I look at a bourbon. It may be a little lighter than I actually want. You know, it's not the darkest, uh, but it's still pleasant. Now, for the first one, it's kind of going to be the one I base all my others on. So I'm going to probably start the appearance of this one at a three, and I'm not going to tell you all that all the time. Uh, but I'll judge my others based on this one, whether I want to go higher or lower. Aroma. All right, let's get into some flavor and some finish. Maybe I will edit. I don't know. Uh, cause that acclamation, it's kind of, I don't know. I probably look silly doing it. Maybe that's where they get that Kentucky chew from, because you do got to put it in there. You kind of chew it around in your mouth to coat it real well. Uh, all right, let's go in for my first. I've had two acclamations. I'm feeling pretty good. I've got a little bit of heat on the very back of my tongue, so my mouth is good. It just got me on that swallow, but I think I'm ready to pull out some flavors. This is a sweet, it's a pretty sweet bourbon with a little bit of subtle oak in there. Uh, I'm getting those caramels and a little bit of honey, but nothing's really jumping out at me. In some of our tastings, we will add water to these. This tasting, I'm not. It just gets a little long, and I know that you are probably looking for a little. I'm really trying to pull something, kind of fascinating out of these. This one's a basic bourbon. It's not jumping out like, wow, this is really great. It's very good. I'm not going to say it's not good, but I'm not sure that that's a Van Winkle 12. Sweet, a little oak on the finish. There's no burn, no lingering burn. I'm not getting any peppery notes. I'm not getting a whole lot of barrel notes. Just a very subtle thing of oakiness, more sweetness than anything. I'm not getting fruit flavors. It's more of a sugary kind of brown sugar and maybe some honey that you get in this one. Uh, so that's that. The finish, it's not really lingering. It doesn't really change as it passes. And as I sit here and talk more, a lot of times when I'm talking to Ryan on the show, uh, I'll taste some different notes, even on the finish, what's left on my tongue. I'm not getting anything like that. So it's a it's a average bourbon, probably one of those in the $40 to $60 range, and it's tasting like a $40 to $60 bourbon. Now, if that is the Van Winkle, then oh well. All right, so do a little palate cleansing. Well, now y'all can watch me chew. I do recommend anytime you're going between bourbons, cleanse your palate really good. You don't want that first bourbon taste affecting your next one if you're trying to get a good judgment. Now, if you're just going one after another, just trying to try different bourbons, and it really doesn't matter which one's the best, then you probably just need some water in between it and not even worry about anything else. Those crackers, they kind of cling to your tongue, cling to your cheeks. You know how dry a cracker is. It kind of takes all that alcohol, that other bourbon away, especially when you wash it down. All right, on to number two. My producer will bring her little card in. Okay, this one is a lot more aromas in this one. It's more complicated. It's it's almost like an orchard. Walking in, I don't smell apple. I smell like apple trees and maybe a little bit of citrus too. Maybe a pear. Maybe it's apple and pears. This is very, very nice. I'm looking for that wheat aspect. I'm not getting it. So it's kind of, I'm not getting any breads or desserts. There may be a subtleness of oats, like maybe like oatmeal. Maybe it's the fruit that I smell in it, like a fruited oatmeal, maybe like apples and cinnamon oatmeal or something. Very pleasant, very pleasant. So I'm gonna rate it right there. Appearance. Let's look at the appearance. Very similar to the last one. Don't know that it's any darker. It's still an amber. It may be a little bit darker. I'm sorry. I think it might be a little bit darker too. And I do tend to go toward the darkier ones. So darkier, if that's a word. Dorkier is me. Darkier is this one. All right, let's get. I'm excited about trying this one. Definitely don't need two acclamations on this one, but I'm gonna do them. Try to be fair to everyone. Absolutely no burn whatsoever. Um, I know I've already had one. Kind of get you acclimated as you go. They get less burn, but with the palate cleansing and everything else, sometimes you still have to warm up that palate. Very unnecessary for this one. Uh, very subtle. Um, so this one, the aroma, fantastic, right? I was pleased, very pleased with the aroma of it. The flavor, very mild. We uh, definitely wouldn't put this one on the rocks, or you'll taste be like you're just drinking maybe some sugar water or something. Uh, this one, it's a good flavor, uh, but it's not doesn't jump out at you as a wow or outstanding bourbon. I could sit and sip this for dessert. It's really really sweet. I'm not getting the fruitiness that I had in the smell. I'm getting more. Well, maybe I am. Maybe I'm getting kind of a frosted Pop Tart. Uh, with that may be a cherry Pop Tart there. So it's not bad. I like the taste of the first one better than the second one, but I like the aroma of the second one better than the first one. So they may score close because of that. I don't know. But the finish is it's weak. It doesn't stay with you very long at all. It's pretty. It goes by fast. If you're not drinking it, it's not staying with you. So I don't know what number two was, but it's a decent bourbon. It's just not. I don't know. We'll just go with that. It's decent. I don't know if it's going to win this tasting though. All right, a little bit more too. The crackers. I won't mean don't talk with my mouth. Will the producer saying? I won't need much cleaning for that. I don't need to get cracker crumbs in my next bourbons, do I? Two good bourbons. Oh, I don't know if it's these two. Two good bourbons. I've tried. I don't think I found Pappy yet. All right. And the goal of this, I guess, isn't to try to find Pappy. The goal of this is to find out which one is the best. And if you can get a $60 bourbon and like it as well as a $500 bourbon, because let's be honest, how many people are going to really get that bottle for less than $500? A Van Winkle 12 Lot B? Not many. Not many. And how many people have that kind of money to buy one anyway? I mean, that's my Christmas fund, guys. That's how we got this bottle. All right. Number three. Okay. Number three on the appearance, guys. This one, this one looks older. This one looks like it's been in the barrel a little bit longer. You can see that dark amber note. Our little producer there, she's holding up number three, so you know what I'm talking about here. Uh, the appearance of this is the best appearance so far. Uh, okay, there's a lot in this one too, guys. So you do get that sweet. You do get those pastries. I get that oatmeal. I get donutty, kind of glazed donut. I might even be getting a little bit of cherry notes in this one. And I know I just said cherry Pop Tart about the flavor of this, but this one I'm kind of, we'll go with the toaster strudel then, a cherry toaster strudel. Pleasant smell. I do like the smell on that one as well. This one is another smooth pour. I will take two acclamations. And when I do that, guys, I started on the front of my tongue. I let it roll all the way back, poke your whole tongue, because that's where you're going to feel most of your burns. And then I kind of get it right in the back of my cheeks a lot. That's where I get a little bit burned. The last two, this one I get a little bit more burn than I did with the second one, and even a little bit more than I did with the first one. And all of these are really between 90 and 100 proof. I think there's one over 100. So this one's really good and smooth. Uh, it's got a little bit of dry texture. I can feel my cheeks going in a little bit as I drink this, but I pull out a little bit of fruity notes in there. I get that apple. I do get a little bit of cherry notes in there, kind of on the finish. I do like that. I don't taste cherry with many of my bourbons. Once again, for a wheated bourbon, though, I'm not getting that oaty grain. But with this one, I'm pleasantly surprised with more of the oakiness out of the barrel. I like those oaky bourbons. I like those ones that's been in the barrel. And this one's got it. So this one's really good. Uh, it's complex as it goes through your mouth. When it starts out and hits the front of your tongue, it's sweet. And as it goes back, you get more of those peppery, spicy notes. Not that it's hot on your mouth in any way, uh, but I taste a little bit of that pepper coming up. And I get that oakiness on the finish with a little bit of cherries. Blends very well. This is an outstanding bourbon. So number three right there. The finish, the finish sticks with you a little bit longer on this one. Uh, and it's very good. All right, I'm gonna use some palate cleansing on that one. My producer doesn't want me to talk with my mouth full. I'm gonna suspect that that one, number three's got a chance to be the Where's the Pappy. Don't know if it is, but so far that has been the best one. I'm kind of I'm kind of rooting for this one, guys. To be honest, this one here I kind of got talked into by the guy at Total Wine. Uh, we'll keep him in the back. He uh he let me taste these. There was three of them. There was actually four of them there that day. I ended up buying three of them. My producer's laughing at me with the crackers in my mouth. Okay, let's go to number four. Number four, guys, should see the card come up in front of you. All right, this one looks pretty dark, amber. Oh no, this one may go back to like the first two. It's not as dark as number three, so we're gonna put that appearance kind of even with the first two. This one's definitely fruity. This one I do get a lot of that apple and pear kind of fruit. A little bit of cinnamon oak in there as well. Uh, it's a very pleasant smell. I enjoy the aroma on this one. Now let's get to the nitty gritty of it. We can sit and look at and smell our bourbon all day, but what do we want it to do the most? We want it to taste good. Another one I don't need multiple activations, but I'm going to do it just to stay fair. Uh, no burn on this one when you put it in your mouth. This one is mild. Goes through your mouth really smooth, subtle sweet, not over sweet, not sweet as these two. Just a subtle sweetness. I think it's kind of that citrusy or fruity flavors that I'm tasting. Uh, don't get them real strong though, but it's just not sweet. Uh, you take it on back, you get a little bit more of that oak in there. You get a little bit more of those smoky notes, and then you get a peppery finish. So this one takes you from start to finish, sweet to peppery, almost like number three does. This is a good bourbon. Uh, get some of that the bready notes on this one. I think with the sweetness toned down, I get some of that like a croissant or something like that in there. A sweet one, maybe the like a Rafferty's croissant. You know how they put the honey glaze on that thing, man. Those are good, and so is this bourbon. So number four, the flavor is excellent. The finish, it it it's there. It's mild finish. Uh, I'm gonna talk a little bit on this one because I want that to see what that finish is gonna do. This one here, it hung around a little bit. Now some finishes you don't really care if they hang around. They're just a hot, spicy finish, and you kind of want it to go away. These two finishes here, they've been pleasant. Just the subtleness of the pepperiness. You still get that woody oak in the back of your tongue right there, and it's very nice. Two good finishes on this one. I'm kind of struggling here to determine which one was the best finish. Uh, another good bourbon. So three and four. I'm still leaning toward three on the Van Winkle, and I'm doing that just because of the color, I guess. Just because of the appearance. It looked a little darker than the rest of them. But I'm on to number five. As I eat crackers here, my producer is going to get a little bit more water for me. I know this hasn't been a very informative show, but sometimes this is just kind of the stuff I want to do. I want to find out. I want to test some stuff. This is my goal in bourbon, uh, to try every Kentucky bourbon, but not only to try every Kentucky bourbon, to find bourbons that I like as much as I do these expensive bottles that I can't afford all the time. So if I can find a 40 or $60 bottle that one of these bottles will be my Van Winkle 12, unless it happens to be Van Winkle 12. But if I have another one that's pretty daggone close, $40 and have one that scores just a little bit behind Van Winkle 12, then I can go to that and still pretend, right? I can pretend. This is my bourbon basement. I can be anything I want to be down here.
Anything can be your family.
I play bartender. I don't know. We just play everything in the bourbon basement. I got a weird look from my producer there. Probably from some of my viewers on this video too. All right. The fifth and final. Let's give appearance a little bit. All right. My producer's putting that card in front of you so you know what I'm talking about here. All right. So this appearance, I think it's going to fit pretty much between 3 and 4. Uh, it's kind of right in the middle of those. So it is pleasant. They've all had a pleasant color. I can't take anything away from the color. The first two were a little bit lighter than the last three, but as far as it all goes, you know, it's bourbon. It's in my glass. It always looks good. So let's get to some aromas. This one's unique compared to the rest of this bunch. I'm getting more spiciness out of the smell of this. I'm not getting alcohol in my nose. No, that's not what I'm saying by the spiciness. I'm getting more like peppery notes instead of I've had fruity and sweetness. I'm not getting sweetness out of this. It's very subtle if it's there at all. I'm getting more of a pepperoni or salami kind of thing. I know, isn't that so? That's what makes this one. It's savory. It's a almost like a charcuterie board. It just kind of smells like that. Because I get that oakiness too. I get a lot of oakiness and charcuterie board. So if I put out a board and I stuck my nose down there on it, that's probably what it's going to be like. So it's unique compared to the other four of these. Uh, is it bad? Is it better or worse? It's unique, is all I'm going to say about it. Uh, but it's subtle and mild. Let's get in here for that acclamation. All right, now we're going in for some flavors. This one's almost true to the smell. I'm getting a lot more spices, some baking spices and peppers, like a black pepper on the tip of my tongue right now, but kind of jalapeno pepper in the back of my tongue. So it's a very unique flavor compared to the rest of these two. I don't know if I've thrown a rye bourbon in here on accident or not, but this one tastes like a rye bourbon to me, not a wheated bourbon to me. And it's got a lot of spiciness. It's got a little bit of heat. The finish is very heated as well. Now let's see if I can pull some different kind of flavors out of there. So when I go back in for this one, I know the spiciness, I know the peppers and all that. I know the oaky wood. So let's see if I can pull that subtle sweetness that it's in there and see if I can get any of that out. Don't get me wrong when I say this. The flavor is excellent. It's just way different than the other four that I've had. Uh, Even looking for the sweetness that's in there, I can't determine what it is. All I can give you is sugar. There's a very kind of it took me back to like I've had an episode before of some sugar covered Cheerios where I put the sugar in and drag it off the bottom. That's kind of the sugar I'm getting, but when you drag that first spoon and you get a lot, and then you drag that second spoon and there's barely any, and then you try to clean it up and you get that third spoon and there's really no sugar, maybe just that grain. That's all I get is that third spoonful. It's not like super sweet. It's very subtle sweetness. I do like that. Uh, these other four, kind of a after dinner bourbon. This one may be with dinner bourbon. Drink it with your dinner. This is a good bourbon, totally different. Hard to really judge against the others because it is so different. Uh, but it's good. It's a very good flavor. The finish is long and lasting as well. And I've got my scores, and we're done. So all in all, very good bourbons. I'm gonna tally up my scores here. Now, if Rye was here with me, he would say all my scores were way too low. So he's not here. We're just going to go with what I got. Uh, and so give me just a second to tally.
Is this 1 to 10?
No, our producer asked if this was 1 to 10, and I said no. It is. There's 20 stars, so you can go 0 to 20. This is a big scoring system, but there's 5 stars in each category, and you can 5 star all of them or whatever you want to do. But all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go number one. I'm gonna tell you what I scored it for on appearance, aroma, flavor, and finish, and then you can tell me what it was, and we'll go from there. Okay. And then I'll tell you my winner at the end, which you'll know it when you see my scores, but I'll tell you again at the end. So number one, I gave it a 3 for appearance, a 3 for aroma, a 3 for flavor, and a 3 for finish for a total of 12. What I have. Castle and Key Weeded. So Castle and Key Weeded got a 12. Actually, my lowest score. And sorry, Castle and Key, because I like Castle and Key products. So Castle and Key was fourth. Which way would be first to last? So this one was last. Okay, Castle and Key. All right, number two. I gave it a 3.5 for appearance. I gave it a 4.5 for aroma. I gave it a 2.5 on flavor and a 2.5 on finish for a total of 13. What I have for number two. Green River Weeded. Sorry, Green River, because you beat Castle and Key by one, but you are another good bourbon. I did enjoy you. Compared to the others, though, you just didn't add. All right, so fifth, fourth. Number three, I'm going to wait because that's actually my winner. So I'm going to go to number five. Number five was third place. Number five, I gave a 4 on the appearance, a 3.5 on the aroma, a 4 on the flavor, and a 4 on the finish for a total of 15.5. What was number five? Number five was Bardstown Origin Series. Number five scored a total of 15.5. This is a very good bourbon. This is the weeded bourbon from Bardstown. I told you it was just so different than the other ones, uh, but still a very good bourbon at 15.5. Now, barely edging Bardstown bourbon out was number four with a total of 16. I gave it a 3.5 on appearance, a 4 on aroma, a 4.5 on flavor, and a 4.5 on finish. And number four was Old Emer. So number four got a 16. Another very good bourbon. So Old Emer. Go this way. No, go this way. I don't know what to do. All right. So I guess last was first place. Number three, which I kind of assumed. I gave it a 4.5 on the appearance, a 4.5 on the aroma, a 4.5 on the flavor, and a 4 on the finish for a total of 17.5. And it is the Van Winkle. Well, so Do you pay for what you get?
You pay.
You
Get what you
do.
pay
Now, so in the days of not having enough money to get or not being lucky enough to find a bottle of the Van Winkle, this scored a 17 and a half. The closest to us was a 16. This is a $40 bottle right here. So this one here, $40, the old Emer. Uh, when the guy sold me on it at the Total Wine, he said it was a lot like the Wellers. I think it is a lot like the Wellers. Uh, and maybe this kind of proves it. Now, I think the age on this one is what made it succeed. I could taste those oaky flavors in there, that sweet oak. It had the I think I called it. This is the one that was in the orchard, right? Yeah, this is the one in the orchard, and it tasted that way too. So Van Winkle 12-year lot B, very good. Beat your $40 to $60 bourbons. Beat it by a whole star and a half. Uh, but if I ain't got it or I'm feeling like all I can afford, I'm gonna go get me some old Emer and sip on it and pretend. I'll just pretend it's Van Winkle Lot 12 or Van Winkle 12 Lot B. So this is a so congratulations, Mr. Van Winkle won. Uh, I wished it didn't, but it did. Uh, and that takes me to my point that if you're out there watching this, guys, my bourbon crew, this is why I didn't do this episode or do this tasting for you guys. I didn't want to give you all a bunch of $40 and $60 bourbons and then one great one. So when you all come over, we're going to enjoy the Pappy Van Winkle or I'm sorry, guys that are crazy about this. I'm going to enjoy the Van Winkle 12 Lot B. But we're going to have some really good bourbons in our tasting. Congratulations to Van Winkle. Congratulations to these others. Fantastic bourbons, especially these two here. So 17 and a half, recap 17 and a half, 16, 15 and a half. So these two are really close, but totally different. Savory, sweet, totally different. These two taste like $40 bourbons. And I don't know what they are. They may be $40 to $50, but they taste like that. These taste above a $40 bourbon. Maybe on up there with those $100 bourbons. But not quite to this level. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed it. Anytime you're tasting a lot of bourbons like this, it's got to be fun, right? I didn't invite anybody to drink, but if you're watching this video, hopefully you already had a drink in your hand. Since this one ain't live, you're actually out looking for it. But I'm gonna title this, I think, "Where's Pappy?" And guess what? We found him. So just remember, guys, don't go off drinking by yourself when you can come drink with me. All right. So don't drink alone when you can drink with us. We'll see you next time.